Hello, testing. One, two, three. Hello, my name is Giovanni Osegueda, and I did my report on the Microsoft Store. I did it on the Microsoft Store because I used the Microsoft Store for my personal reasons, like personal use. And upon using it, I see some design elements that could be improved and that could be improved on. What is the Microsoft Store? Microsoft Store is a application store that Microsoft uses on Windows devices, starting from Windows 8 all the way to Windows 10, and it is coming to Windows 11. You can, what can you do with the Windows Store? You can download third-party software like iTunes. You can download Lightroom. You can download Spotify. Any third-party apps. You can also buy AAA games like you can buy Halo Wars 2, Among Us, Forza Horizon. I personally use the Microsoft Store to buy games. If I can't find it on a Steam store, I will result using the Microsoft Store to buy that specific game. You can also buy and rent movies. And another feature is you can actually download mobile application. You can download it the from the store. So use like WhatsApp. WhatsApp is mostly mostly a phone application, and you're able to download it on the Microsoft Store and use it on your computer or any Windows devices. I want to talk about the user interface that the Microsoft has. On the left, you have the website store. On the right, you have the application store. In my personal opinion, I think the website store looks a lot better. It looks a lot more uniform, and I think it's visually appealing to look at. Compared to the application store on the right, you don't you have too much going on. You have these big tiles, and it's just trying to grab your attention, and it's not like I just don't think it's appealing to look at. That when a user just clicks on the store, that's what they're greeted with big tiles, big screens, and it's just grabbing your attention. If you scroll down a little bit more, it's just you have icons that are not even lined up, like iTunes next to Roblox. Like they're not lined up, and it just feels, in my opinion, it feels very cheap. I feel like Microsoft should use the website layout and just put it over to the application store. There's certain things that's on the website store that's not carried over at all, like drop down boxes. I think this is a major. I feel like this is helpful for users. Like if you were to drop down on a website, you have different categories. You're not able to do it in the application. I wish I was able to drop down in gaming and I had different subcategories like shooting or shooting games like strategy games, racing games. I don't have any of that. Same for entertainment. Like I wish I had subcategories like TV shows, movies, and horror movies. There's none of that here on the application. I feel like I have to do extra steps just to get to one thing. And I feel like the application store should sell devices or should have a device tabs like the website. I feel like it'll be a lot more useful. And I'm going to talk about some design elements that Microsoft should learn from, and it's from the Mac application store. With Apple's design to the application store, it's a lot more uniform. It's cleaner to look at, and it's visually appealing. Like more like Apple's design to the application store is more like a card design. You have different cards right here that separates one card from the other. You have icons to the left, something that Microsoft is not really doesn't have on their application store. I feel like that's what's missing. If you were to give someone that's not tech savvy a laptop and you would tell them to navigate through the store, they would know which tab they're in. They're able to go because you have icons. You have. I feel like they're able to navigate more of the Mac's application store instead of like Windows store. Another example is like when you click on on a app description like iTunes. If I click app description on Microsoft Store, you see all this negative space not being used. It honestly feels like it's incomplete. There's a lot of like negative space not being used at all, and to me, I feel like it's just deal breaker. Like it really is because I feel it's not visually appealing. There's no depth to it. There's really nothing. It's just plain to look at. I just feel like they just slap the background, not even like the right resolution, just slap the background and just call it a day. Compared to here, where on Apple's store, you have your picture, you have your description, you have your ratings, you have the information, like age recommendation. You don't have any of that right here. If I want to look up pictures of maybe like iTunes store, I have to scroll down to look at pictures of the application that I'm downloading. With the Apple one, you just click on it and I'm able to go through pictures. And one thing that Microsoft another example is that there's another example like all this negative space not being used and I just put a box over it. There's really no depth to it. It just feels very plain and just not it's just not easy to look at. Another thing is Microsoft does have a lot of shovelware apps. If I were to look at PDF viewer, there's quite a few PDF viewers around, and it's not. They all do the same thing, but some of them might be scam apps. Some of them might be trying to get your money or try to get a virus on your computer. I feel like Microsoft has really no control on these shovelware apps. Like they're really just plaguing the store right now, and that turns off a lot of users. Like another thing is like these apps are basically just guides to like a website the website usage and video game guides, and people are charging $4 or $5 for it, and this is just people trying to get your money. Like there really is no control on these apps. I just wish Microsoft kind of step foot and just say like, here we need to we need to like have quality control on our applications, like what Apple does with their store. And that's really it. That's really what I really want to talk about. Some of the few things that Microsoft really should improve on. I personally use. It's sad that Microsoft doesn't really doesn't really use it to their full advantage. They have a store, and it just sometimes when I go on it, it feels it feels very down that I have to use it because it's so it's plain to look at, and I just wish they just bring life to it. It needs life, and I just really hope that Microsoft learns. But that's it, and thank you.